According to the WordPress Codex, a theme framework can be one of two things. It can be a code library used to facilitate and simplify the development of a theme, or it can be a standalone theme that can either be forked for your own development or used as a parent theme. A framework that is a code library cannot be used as a standalone theme. These are libraries that are generally included with the theme and bootstrapped into the theme by adding includes in the functions.php file. Alternately, a framework that's built to be the base or starter theme can be used by itself as the base of a new theme, or as a parent theme for the purpose of developing child themes. Technically, any theme can be used as a parent theme, but some themes are designed specifically to be theme frameworks. These themes may lack some CSS or general design flair, since those things would be added by the finished theme or the child theme. For example, StudioPress's primary offering is their Genesis theme framework. This is a theme that can be used by itself, by developers as a framework, or in combination with child themes that they sell on their site, are sold by third-party developers, or custom built. On the other end of the spectrum is Underscores. Underscores comes with all the theme template files, but very little CSS. Instead, Underscores is designed to let the designer take care of the CSS and use all the built-in functionality of the theme framework. If you didn't want to touch any of the core code of Underscores, you could use it as a parent theme and just build a child theme for it. That way you wouldn't need to merge anything if there are changes or updates to the codebase. There are a number of reasons to use theme frameworks. The first one is time savings. Underscores calls itself a 1,000-hour head start. That's approximately the amount of design and development time that went into building Underscores that you save by using it as your framework, and is still being developed and improved. Using a theme framework as the foundation of your theme means that you don't need to spend time building template files or common functionality that you use again and again in every project. Even if you're building a one-off theme and have no plans of building another theme, using a framework like Underscores or Genesis means that you can focus on the design elements or the new functionality that you want to add to your theme. Generally speaking, theme frameworks are easy to use. They're fairly plug and play. You just add the stuff you want to be new or different from the framework. What you're adding depends on the framework you're using, but since they are written to be taken apart, they generally come with code comments, clean code, documentation, or a community around them to help you get started with your project. And you generally know that the code quality will be pretty good. Again, this is a theme that is intended for other developers to pick it apart, so most problems would get worked out of them organically. This also means that, in general, they adhere to the WordPress best practices and coding standards. If there are issues with the code, theme frameworks get updated. This is a whole lot of bug fixing that you don't have to do unless you wrote the framework. If there's a security vulnerability in Genesis and you're using that as your framework, all you need to do is update Genesis and keep trucking. One of the downsides of using a theme framework might be cost. Many theme frameworks are not free, though some are. And if you're using something like Genesis, there's the potential added cost of the child theme. This may not always apply to all theme frameworks, but the inherent learning curve does. Every theme and theme framework has its own way of doing things, and most theme frameworks have a lot of goodies under the hood that you as a developer need to learn to make the most of those frameworks. As a beginning user or developer, it might be easier and faster to just build your own theme from scratch. You'd lose the 1,000-hour head start, and you'd miss out on all the added benefits, but at least you know your own code, and you wouldn't need to learn someone else's tricks. This was one of the major deciding factors for building my own theme framework. Theme frameworks also come with their own limitations. If you're building within the confines of a theme framework, you need to do things the way that framework is designed to work. If you wanted to change the way the framework did something, you might need to override core files or functions. Finally, theme frameworks might have more stuff in them than you really need. They may be loading lots of fonts that you don't want, or include JavaScript libraries you aren't going to use. This was one of the things I encountered when using a theme framework called Schematic. It was a great Bootstrap-based theme, but it had a lot of stuff I really didn't need or want to use, and it lacked some of the things that I did want to use. While theme frameworks are intended for developers, they don't necessarily need to be used by advanced developers. On the contrary, the idea is that you can jump into theme development very quickly by using an existing framework. This helps more design-oriented would-be theme developers because it allows them to focus on the design or CSS elements. If a theme framework is intended to be used as a parent theme, that means that most of your work will be done in a child theme. A child theme is simply a stripped-down theme that inherits most of the functionality from the parent theme. The only required file in a child theme is the style.css file, so you can use all the template files that were built into the parent theme, as well as the parent theme's style.css, and focus solely on what elements of the parent theme you want to change. Additional template files saved in the child themes directory are used to overwrite those files in the parent. For example, if my child theme had its own sidebar.php, it will use that sidebar.php instead of the parent theme's sidebar.php. The only time this rule does not apply is with the functions.php file. The child theme's functions.php file is run first, and then the parent theme's functions.php file is run. This allows the child theme to override functions that might exist in the parent theme. The theme framework that we'll be primarily talking about and working on in this course is the kind that can be used as a standalone theme or parent theme. We'll also look at building into the theme customization options to allow users to change the visual elements of the theme without touching any code.